Imagine the bustling streets of post-World War II Europe, a continent struggling to rebuild itself, currencies fluctuating wildly, unemployment soaring. Yet, amidst this chaos, a young economist named John Maynard Keynes quietly reshaped the very essence of how we understand economies at large. His revolutionary ideas didn't just influence textbooks, but shaped policies that lifted nations from the ruins of despair to the heights of prosperity. Keynes's insight was simple yet profound. Economies are not self-correcting machines that instantly bounce back from shocks. Instead, they are complex systems driven by human behavior, sentiment, and sometimes sheer irrationality. Picture this: a family deciding to save more during a recession, which seems prudent on an individual level, but if everyone does it simultaneously, total demand collapses, leading to deeper unemployment and recession. This paradox, known as the paradox of thrift, fundamentally challenged classical economic theories of the day. Fast forward to the late 20th century, when another towering figure in macroeconomics, Robert Lucas, entered the stage, a man who forever changed our understanding of expectations in economic policy. Lucas introduced the idea that people in the economy are not passive actors but forward-looking agents who form expectations about the future and act accordingly. His famous Lucas critique warned policymakers that traditional macroeconomic models, which didn't account for changes in expectations, could mislead policy outcomes. Imagine trying to navigate a ship map drawn decades ago without accounting for shifting currents and winds. Lucas demanded a map continually updated with the latest intelligence, embodying the shift to rational expectations. But here's where it gets even more fascinating. The debates and dialogues between Keynesian economists and those inspired by Lucas's new classical economics framework laid the groundwork for dynamic stochastic general equilibrium models, the very engines driving modern macroeconomic policy analysis. These models attempt to marry the unpredictable shocks of the real world with the rational choices of economic agents, all wrapped up in rigorous mathematics. Consider also the dramatic stories behind these theoretical battles. Take the Great Inflation of the 1970s, a one-time economic conundrum that stunned policymakers worldwide. Inflation surged while unemployment remained high, defying the conventional wisdom of the Phillips curve, which suggested an inverse relationship between the two. Enter Milton Friedman, whose unwavering belief in the power of monetary policy and the natural rate of unemployment added a new layer to our understanding, forcing economists to rethink the interplay between inflation, expectations, and policy. His debates with Keynesian orthodoxy weren't mere academic squabbles. They were intellectual duels that shaped real policy decisions. From the fast tightening under Paul Volcker to central banks' inflation targeting regimes today. And the story doesn't end there. The 2008 global financial crisis threw a wrench into decades of macroeconomic thought. Suddenly, models that emphasize equilibrium and rational expectations seem inadequate to predict or explain a collapse triggered by financial instability and coordinated failures in global markets. Economists like Bernanke, who has studied the Great Depression, stepped forward, blending macroeconomics with insights from financial markets, leading to new models incorporating elements of behavioral economics, network theory, and systemic risk. Imagine yourself diving into the intellectual journeys of these icons, Friedman, Lucas, Bernanke, and seeing macroeconomics as a grand narrative, a compelling saga where theory meets crisis, and policy debates unfold against the backdrop of human behavior and historical turning points. This is not merely a study of numbers or models, it's an exploration of the living, breathing economy. Each shock, each policy choice echoes through time, teaching us lessons and urging us to rethink assumptions. For the researcher eager to plunge deeper, uncovering how these evolving ideas interact with today's challenges, from climate change economics to digital currencies and inequality, offers an exhilarating frontier. How might we reconcile the complexity of modern economies with the elegance of theory? How do we integrate human psychology, technological transformation, and global interconnection into robust macroeconomic frameworks? So, as you embark upon your own exploration into macroeconomics, imagine yourself as a participant in this unfolding dialogue, standing on the shoulders of giants, armed with curiosity, ready to challenge and expand the frontier of knowledge. The story of macroeconomics is far from finished. It is an ever-evolving adventure, inviting you to contribute your voice to the chorus of discovery.